one that can see.
Where there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. It becomes important to understand that there is a problem. If you're going to change your life, if you're going to do something different, if you're going to go in a new direction, you must first come to that point where you understand that what you've been doing has not been working. The choices, the habits, the thoughts and ideas that you've cultivated over the years, they're not working. So you understand that there is a problem. And for many of us, that's where we're at right now. We have understood that there's a problem. There's something not quite right. There's something awry here. But understanding that there is a problem is simply the first part of the equation, because it becomes almost as important to understand what the problem exactly is. It's not simply enough to know that there's an issue. It's not simply enough to feel a disturbance, but to know exactly what is causing these problems, these issues. And so it's a lot like having a medical issue, some sort of underlying medical issue. And if it goes undiagnosed, that can be an issue in and of itself. If you have some sort of medical problem or something going on with your health. But it becomes equally frustrating if you become aware that there is a medical issue, you become aware that there is a medical problem, but you're unable to diagnose exactly what it is. Because you can know all day long, you can feel, you can sense, you can have the understanding that there's a problem, just like you can have, health problems, health issues, and understand that there's more than likely some sort of underlying medical issue. But if you don't know what is causing those things, if you don't know what those things are a result of, then you can't really begin to deal with the problems at hand. You can't begin a treatment. If you don't know what the medical problem is, you can't begin to treat it properly. And so that becomes really the crux of what we're dealing with. As men going our own way, we've seen that there is a problem. We've understood that things are not the way that they should be, or not the way that they seem to be. And so, what is the real issue? And for me, one of those issues that I realized recently was, I think I've mentioned previously, I stopped growing. I stopped growing professionally. I stopped growing spiritually and mentally. And I got complacent with where I was at. And I didn't have any goals that I was really trying to attain, And you can be a success. You can be where you want to be at in life. And it's almost just as tragic to be at a place in life where you stop growing as it would be to have never grown at all. A lot of people say they're looking for success. They're looking for money. They're looking for financial success, business success, professional and relationship success. And yet we see so many people with those things, celebrities and the rich and the powerful and the influential. And many of them are just as miserable, if not more so, than the average person. And what I really think people are looking for is not so much success in one realm or the other, but rather a balance. They want balance. And so if anybody that's familiar with the Nazca lines, you would understand that you can be so focused in on certain things, so focused in on success, so focused in on financial success, business success, relationship success, and particularly when we talk about MGTOW, before they become MGTOW, many guys are so focused in on relationship success, success with women. Everything is geared towards developing game, developing physique, developing all this stuff. And they get tunnel visioned. And it's just like the Nazca lines. They can only be seen clearly from a certain vantage point. You can only see the whole picture when you step back and you don't focus in on one thing. And so this is where goals and things come in, because we can be MGTOW. We really can. We can be going our own way and yet going nowhere. And that's how I feel a lot of people in MGTOW are now. We say we're MGTOW, but we're not growing. We're not cultivating mind, body, and spirit and the balance between those three things. We're just saying we're MGTOW, but we're not enriching our lives, many of us, in any way, shape, or form, with all this newfound freedom and upward mobility. And so, I've spoken about goals before, the importance of goal setting, the importance of having goals. But I think one of the things that people miss out on with goals is they have a very broad idea, and that's their goal. That's, okay, this is my goal. Take weight loss, for instance. My goal is to lose weight, or my goal is to get in better shape. But yet that's a very broad category. And so in setting up a goal, it's always good to define not only what the goal is and what is considered success at that goal, but also, okay, this is the goal. Now, what do I have to do? What do I have to sacrifice? What do I have to change about myself in order to get there? So it would almost be better to say, I want to lose 30 pounds, or I want to get down to 180. And you have your clearly defined goal there. So then what must I do? How can I attain this desired goal or this desired outcome? And so then you say, well, I'll change my diet by doing A, B, and C, and then I'll, work out an hour and a half a day. And so that's your plan of action. So you have your goal and it's clear and defined, and then you have your plan of action to implement it into place. And it's always good to maybe have more than one goal, or have one or two goals. You don't want to overwhelm it. You don't want to have so many different goals going on at one time that you don't really accomplish any headway in either of them. And at the same time, you want to have long-term goals as well as short-term goals. But these are things that I think, at least I can speak for myself personally, is that you get into a place where you lack direction. You get into a place where things are not clearly defined. And so you're just kind of going about life. And there's no other reason to do these things other than for yourself, for your own improvement, for your own enlightenment. Undergo a personal renaissance, if you will. Decide for yourself what path you want to take, where you want to be at, what you want your future to look like. Because it's in the now that all of those things are going to start taking place, and that the foundation and the root work for those things are going to take place. Because I would hate for people out there, a lot of MGTOW out there, to think that they're free and to think that they've gone their own way, when in reality, nothing's really changed. Yes, they have the knowledge, they have the mental assent of the truth of things, but have yet to put those things into action, have yet to use those things to bring greater value to their own life, bring greater enrichment to their own mind, body, soul trio. And so I think it is good to continue to grow, have goals, have aspirations, because these things do breed a certain sense of hope. They do bring a lot of fulfillment and joy in and of themselves. But I think that it is real easy, once we reach these highest of heights, these goals that we set out for ourselves to accomplish, it is easy to get complacent. It is easy to sit back. And then we wonder why unfulfillment creeps in. It's good to have a challenge. It's good to have something you're striving for. It's good to compete against oneself. That's all the time we have today on the Days of Thunder. I appreciate all the support and everything that I've been getting here lately, all the feedback, positive and negative. And till next time, you're free to do as you're told. This has been John Nada, and this has been the Days of Thunder.